Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Since the presidential inauguration is tomorrow, we thought we'd chat about how to handle it when conversations turn to politics. Sharon Schweitzer is an internationally recognized etiquette expert, author, lawyer, and entrepreneur. Hey, Sharon.
Good morning, Molly.
Wonderful to see you. And I think this is such a timely topic. I feel like we maybe should have been doing this once a week for the last couple of years. But you know, it's interesting to me how often the conversation turns to politics, whether it's with family, friends, coworkers. It's a little shocking.
It is. It seems to be very popular right now, and the most important thing we can all do is attempt to engage in those conversations with respect. So it can be taboo in the workplace, but politics can be a conversation starter in our social circle. So we never know where it's going to pop up. It can be on a virtual platform. It can be in a physical office. And we all want to have more of an intellectual conversation and not a political brawl. So what we want to do is try to cite research and back up our opinions with some sort of well-founded information.
Such a great point, Sharon. And you also say it's okay to exercise your right for silence, which I want to get to. But let's go some of your great points here on how to handle it. Because if it does pop up, I think knowing what to do is going to help so much. So the first thing you recommend is engage in respectful conversation.
Yes. And I think that's what's crucial. You need, as difficult as it may be, we need to give people the opportunity to express their views. And depending on your social circle, people are going to express their views in different ways. We all have different cultural conditioning. Some of us are more direct than others. Some of us live in different regions of the U.S. And so we all are socialized differently. And people are going to express themselves very, very, or they may express themselves very indirectly. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a comfort level. So trying to do that respectfully is really important. And if you find you can't, there are some mechanisms you can use, or if you find the person you're engaged with can't, there's some mechanisms you can use to close that conversation.
And I want to get to some of those because they're so good, I think. You also say, it's not a war of opinion. Know your audience, which is key. So is it okay to keep your opinions private?
Yes, it is, especially if you're asked that question by your boss or by your controls the paycheck, your pay strings.
Yeah.
In that case, maybe you don't want to share your opinion, or maybe your opinion has changed. So you want to be respectful whenever that type of thing happens. So maybe, you may think, oh my gosh, I don't know my audience. I don't know what my boss thinks. So one of the things you can do is say, I really appreciate you asking me my opinion. And right now I'm really observing what's happening nationwide, and everything changes from day to day. So I appreciate your interest. Tell me, what are your thoughts? And kind of put the ball back in their court.
I love that. What about someone who's persistent? How do you respond graciously?
Well, sometimes we all get those folks in our lives that get a hold of a bone and they just don't want to let it go. And when that happens, sometimes you have two choices. You can either, number one, pivot to something they're very passionate about, especially if there was a recent game and they're a big sports fan. You can pivot over to that. You can ask them what they're binge watching, maybe on their favorite virtual platform. The other thing you can do is graciously close the conversation and say, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for your point of view. And tell them, have a good afternoon.
I like that. I think you have absolutely the right idea. And reconciling conflicting beliefs, I think, is so hard. But you say either way, handle yourself. What do you mean by that? Handle yourself.
Well, right now we're seeing a lot of people with shifting alliances. People aren't so sure what is happening. Things are changing on a daily basis. What you want to do is assess yourself. Make a decision before you get on a call, before you get on a virtual platform, before you do, a virtual cocktail hour. If politics comes up, here's what I'm going to do. I'm either going to engage or I'm not going to engage. And if I'm not going to engage, here's why, and here's what I'm going to say. And then stick to your decision. Be authentic. And if you've changed your mind and in the past you've engaged in politics and you decide you don't want to in the future, that's fine. But just make a decision and then stay consistent.
See, I like that. One of the things I sometimes say to people, and I wonder how you feel about this, is I'll say, you know, I don't feel like I thoroughly understand the issue and the two opinions well enough to really share my opinion. Because I think you have to be really educated to think people should be listening to your opinion. Is that okay to say?
Absolutely, it is. Molly, the other day I was working out with my trainer and he asked me, Sharon, what do you think is going to happen with this? What are your thoughts from in terms of the Constitution and this whole Article 25 thing? And I said, oh my gosh, Andy, I am a lawyer and I practice law, but I have no idea. That's for the constitutional law experts. I took 2 constitutional law classes in law school years ago, but I have no idea. I'm not an expert in that area, and any opinion I give you is going to be worthless because I don't know. That is not my area of expertise. I leave that to the experts. So I think giving that kind of an answer, Molly, is excellent. I think it's wise. And I appreciate it when people do that because I don't want them to misinform me.
I think that's so gracious. I love talking to you, Sharon. I hope you'll join us again sometime.
Well, thank you, Molly. I would love to, and I hope you and your viewers have a great week.
Thank you. Same to you. And you may want to rewatch this segment. She had so many great tips on how to handle political conversations. You can also send it to one of your friends who maybe could use a little more schooling on social graces. Go to our website. It's themorningblend.com. All right, still ahead.